Hi there.
Bashkupak talekbelpik tawolal. Yum tsilobe utsop et ete. Kela. Yum tsilobe utsop libola lishik.
How is everything?
Yanguaba shutstawich. Kasepsunake.
Hakan!
What is this?
Cultist, waiting for their deity to appear. When the catastrophes come, the god Kukulkan must be sacrificed to power the sun. Otherwise, the world dies.
Sacrifice a god?
The sacrifice is my duty. But this cult leader will take my place and attempt to become the god. He believes we can remake the world and live in a paradise of his design.
Remake the world.
What?
I've heard those words before.
There he is!
I know him. That's Dr. Dominguez.
Behold! The instrument of our unity and salvation! Soon, our dreams of peace and safety will be realized!
They already call him Kukulkan. But his real name is Amaru. He was born here, but raised, lied to, by outsiders. The people believe in him.
But you don't.
My late husband, Saidi, was his brother. They had differences over the future of Paititi. When Saidi died, Amaru devoted himself to the cult.
You have seen the storm. You are worried about worse to come. I assure you that Paititi will persevere and thrive forever!
I know him well. If Amaru is successful, all of us who disagree will never see this paradise. The rebels will be discarded.
Not if they don't find the box.
Yes. Our best hope is to find it first. Perhaps Amaru might still be brought to see love and reason.
Death to the outsiders! Retribution will come!
Hakan! Enough!
We must strike while the snake is within reach.
Justice will be met in good time.
Do not jeopardize our rebellion for the sake of impulse.
Etzli, go scout ahead. We'll meet you at the edge of the mountain. Last warning. Go. Follow Etzli. Your clothing won't hide you long from these guards.
Okay, I'll find the box.
You've been warned to keep the peace.
I was just out for a pleasant stroll with my son.
Amaru is losing his patience.
It won't happen again.
Jonah, can you answer?
Yeah.
Dr. Dominguez is originally from Paititi. Trinity has had a presence in Paititi since the 1600s. The former leader of the High Council, Gualtiero de Luca Dominguez, an Italian cardinal, saw great potential in a little boy and trained him, like a son, to be his replacement. He moved up in the ranks until he became the leader of the High Council. He has lived most of his life outside of Paititi, returning often but not staying long. His real name is Amaru, but as the high priest of the cult in Paititi, Many people call him by his honorary title, Kukulkan. He has brought the key of Shakshil home from Cozumel and has assured his people he will use it to protect them. Amaru wants the silver box of Ixchel to protect Paititi from the encroaching dangers of the outside world, but already he is being tempted by the possibility of remaking the world in his own image.
Me and Uchu set up camp. Everything's okay.
Dominguez is here. He's the leader of the cult of Kukulkan. That's what Unuratu's rebels are fighting.
What?
He's been here for years. Trinity controls Paititi.
Whoa.
I'm going to the Eye of the Serpent. We have to get the box before the next cataclysm hits.
Etzli yetel tene sukim bashalon mantats. Balemain will tilekinova. Beijing walling wohel bastene. Jam bashop kanan tiubetik. Kanan tial tulakalon. Baleta kingwilik. Mishmak pulik tunichach kunachtal ichilialka.
Yane matuchikra hilbashku.
After the long dry season, when the rains finally fell, the rats left their burrows looking for more food. They brought with them pests. Those afflicted bleed from their ears and nose and died in terrible pain and terrible numbers, leaving many once populous cities empty. This depicts the story of Viracocha, the father of all creation. He formed the heavens, the earth, the sun and stars, the moon, time itself, and all living beings, including the other gods. At first, Viracocha was considered to be the supreme god of the Inca, but with time that honor passed to his son, Inti, the god of the sun. Still, Viracocha retained his link to the sea. His name literally means fat or foam of the sea. This garishly decorated fire drill appears to be a part of the new fire ceremony, an Aztec celebration of the new year. It consists of 5 days of fasting, bloodletting, and sacrifice. The fire drill is meant to be placed upon the chest of the freshly sacrificed. It sparks, feeding a large bonfire that ignites the flames of every nearby temple. This one, however, doesn't appear to have been used, as the notches are clear of blood.
Onurato yetel, huascuxul macobe, letiopu jajil, uchilancabilo paititi. Huabeya caticten, yetel machente en tucultiqui. Vale, beyin wole, chente en yante numuki lingualic. Usasig sipile, sococuchu lukin le olal. Una juchiva lunuratu, ukupki mesicuculcan. Te alusut lequino, maculpachi. Yoxale tuculop bello, kukimesalu yavili. Le olal bacan mishmakzik baltico.
Where's my mother?
She's settling matters between the guards and her Khan.
What's it like outside Paititi?
Well, a lot of things. It's a very big world.
Bigger than Paititi?
Bigger than 100 Paititis.
What? Will you take me there?
I think your mother might have something to say about that.
What you're looking for is in there.
How will I know when I found the right chamber?
By the smell of death. If you survive, you can find your way back through the old irrigation system. I'll meet you there. Be careful. The cult often patrols there.
A ceremonial whistle used during human sacrifices. The sound emitted from the skull-shaped instrument has been compared to the tormented screams of the dying and the dead. Its shrill cry is said to clear a path to the underworld for the recently deceased. The death whistle has also been used as an instrument of war, its cry striking fear into the heart of the unknowing enemy. The surging population and lack of civil planning caused the settlement many problems. Farmers clear-cut jungle to use the fertile riverbanks for their crops, resulting in a devastating flood in the first heavy rains. Overhunting forced hunters to travel ever further to find game. Several groups, each vying for a controlling interest in the settlement, debated, often fiercely, on the best manner of solving these problems. This is a formidable weapon. Heavy wood lined with sharp obsidian teeth. It could easily stop an unarmored enemy. And if the bloodstains are any indication, it has. All right. I don't think anything could... Through there. Having not heard from Lopez, some among the leadership began to have their doubts about him. Our group dispatched south to investigate. We sent the natives in first, uncertain those in the city had not killed Lopez on his arrival. They returned with reports of how sick the city was, and we quickly formed a plan to utilize this to our advantage. This seems to represent Unuratu leading a group in rebellion. There is a near-total eclipse in the background. The smell. This must be the place Etzli mentioned. Steady, Lara, steady. The smell. This must be the place Etzli mentioned. Steady, Lara, steady. I'm gonna be sick. Okay, take it slow. You can do this. Ritual sacrifice. Oh, great. I guess I have no choice. Is this one of the rebels? A serpent with silver eye. I'm on track. Yes, through there. The smell keeps getting stronger. I found another serpent with a silver eye. I must be getting close. You?
Talking tattoos with Uchu.
Tattoos?
Yeah, you saw Unuratu's, right? It has a heron and an eclipse on it. That might have something to do with the silver box.
I don't think so.
Looks like this is the only way, okay?
The lone figure appears in a state of peace, as though waiting for something. Gotta be a way to burn away that barrier. Gotta be a way to burn away that barrier. Full of oil and blood. There. If the oil is flammable. That barrier's down. Need to keep moving. Is this some kind of bloodletting chamber? A barrier. Must be a way to turn the second wheel. Must be a way to turn. Damn, it's flowing to the wrong place. Must have taken hundreds of sacrifices to get enough blood to fill these channels. Too heavy. Needs more torque. Okay, now to bring that barrier down. Have to burn that barrier. Now, to find the silver box. This must be what Trinity's missing.
There's the little rebel prince.
Etzli!
Over there! Get her!
Damn it! Get out of the way!
Nei, combattimanti! Oh, uccide i vaganti! Hey, Laura, if you can, head back. Uchu has something he wants to ask you. I think it's a favor.
Okay, I'll make my way back as soon as I can.
Mishkuntenin wilhachpuhan uchu.
Uchu? Really? What happened?
Maotztintanin hoxik sikbali. Vale letille tel kabil. Tan kachubatel sikbalov. Kesh tu chambel kuntop utanove. Chikantu katulal. Hachpuhan ukikelov.
This elaborate pipe is sculpted to resemble Xicoatl, an Aztec serpent spirit painted in green, blue, and yellow. Its sides are decorated with semi-precious stones. The inclusion of jade indicates at least a measure of Maya influence. The bowl still reeks of burnt roots and smoke. Not an entirely unpleasant aroma. Unuratu must be worried about Etzli. I have to tell her he's been captured.
ten yan chaki.
Akat konolshan, uyeh, istikyahil tinkashtil ti alintal kunak.
Tribute to who?
Ukilich kunetsakil kukulkan, hey, kukan tikov tan chumuk titulak al bashkon tekino. Wako tukultikov mayab kinsaktiobe.
I understand.
Ni bola lishik, veituno. Tiano manig wabash? Timsilove utsop et etel. Hashmalo ba hasta yeya timsilove utsop et etel. Mantats timpatik nkesh.
Nib olal tukate nishik. Kimakin wol tinkamachil imbakil bul.
Kalanbil, uishetail unurato. Mahashnatsi kabaj ignal, leuach batelilov balam. Mantats hachtan ujiliko joksal. Wayambash kusholal.
Unuratu must be worried about Etzli. I have to tell her he's been captured.
Achmelenech.
30th of November, 1603. With a local man as a guide, Lopez, the soldiers, and I set out from the city before first light. Just as well, as a terrible flu began to spread through the population. Lopez is convinced his artifact does not lie in the city itself, but somewhere just outside. I asked if it was not somewhat hypocritical to enlist the help of those loathsome people. Do not loathe them, he said, any more than you would these molosses. They are all creations of the Lord our God, as are we. I told him I was stunned to hear him speak in this fashion, but he took my hands and we prayed. The energy of his faith ran from him to me, until I felt the chains of doubt fall from my heart. Born to famine, raised in rebellion, orphaned but never alone, he rises as the sun. The Inca used a combination of freeze-drying and salt to preserve just about anything edible. Charqui and chunos are basically meat and potatoes. Delicious.
Hachbal kichkelemech uchi, utel yetelalap olech, mantach tiyanech tagotoche, mahel bishishiri, alkabil binik tupach lemehe shulubo, onach kachimbetik,
Unuratu must be worried about Etzli. I have to tell her he's been captured. This describes something nearby. A lone sentry stands guard over me and his harvest. All full up. Can't carry any more.
Tsok, guau chukokta lupol letanque mobo. Tinguilaj mejen palal tanusitop bei cabras. Teichi lukashi le cajo. Tukimesajenov yetel hasahol, que shi iwat sokuman, uyahile hela, lokbayan.
Not quite yet, I'm afraid.
Hach mabello, valeyana betik, hel vishle mejen palaloba, hel iliunakal, yolov tihel bashak, tuyilahop te canalo.
Unuratu! Hetzley's been captured.
I know. They're holding him at the barracks. We're working on a plan to release him.
I tried to get to him, I'm sorry.
He's a warrior. What's that? This is a key. It looks like it belonged to the mountain temple. It is adjacent to where they're holding him. Is the box of eggshell connected to the barracks? Is that why the cult occupied the temple? It's heavily guarded. When we go in, it has to be subtle, silent.
Is there a back way?
There was one, by the salt mine, but it has deteriorated. It's treacherous.
I might be able to manage it.
Perhaps. You did survive the sacrificial pit. I haven't been back inside since I was a child. But from what I can remember, the barracks are within an inner stronghold.
If I can get in through the back way, I can clear a path and let you in. We will free Etzley, then go find the box.
I'll take care of my son. You go after the box.
I don't know. We're trying to keep a low profile.
I would go. Only I can't abandon my post here, and time is running short. It would mean a lot to Queen Unuratu and the rebellion.